let's go ahead and let's start the edit. Hey guys, what I wanted to share with you today is how to use simple tools to make your photos look really nice. And today I thought we're gonna start with the gradient tool. So we're gonna be using Lightroom, so it's simple and easy, but you can do pretty much the same thing in Photoshop. What is a gradient tool? It is essentially a mask, and it takes the parameter that you choose, be it saturation, exposure, or any other setting, and applies it to the area which you selected. So if you wanted to make the skies darker in a photo, you would put the gradient tool over it and lower the exposure. And in return, if you wanted to make a certain area like the horizon a bit lighter, you're gonna put the gradient filter on and increase the exposure. It's essentially like using an analog glass gradient filter, which one of the sides is tinted, so it would darken the image just on the one side and gradually decrease over the area. And that's what we're doing. There are other ways of doing this, like dodging and burning, but this one is rather simple and really effective. Let's go ahead and let's start the edit, and I'm gonna talk over a bit what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So in this picture, we're gonna be using the gradient tool to decrease the exposure on the sky. So we're gonna use the exposure slider. Let's grab the gradient tool and pull it down. The bottom line is where it fades out completely, and you can manually adjust how much it affects the area. So here we're gonna use the brightness, the exposure up and down, so you would see the effect more, and just gradually decrease it until you find the effect good enough. And you can also use other sliders like the clarity and texture and dehaze to bring back some of the details that were lost in the process. So we're gonna increase the dehaze a little bit. We're gonna use the gradient filter on the bottom half to make it a bit darker to increase the dynamic range of the image. So now I'm gonna do a little quick edit. So where do you think the light should come from? Well, I think it should come from here, going this way, down towards the cars, just like this, so you can visualize the light path a little bit more. And now we're gonna use the gradient tool, pull it all the way and see how this one looks. And now see how the highlights are blown out. We're gonna recover them slightly. See how they come back? And you can adjust this to your liking as well. Now we're gonna do the bottom half to introduce some contrast into the image. Bump it up and now gradually increase it until you find it looks good for you. We're gonna need a little bit more of a light coming in, And we're gonna repeat the same steps again. Adjust it to your liking. And now a quick edit. Bring back the exposure. And now the same process all over again. We're gonna decrease the exposure so we retrieve the details from the sky. So we're gonna use another gradient filter on this side to bring more focus to the tractor, the main subject. See how we darken this side? And your eye naturally wants to find the middle of the image now. The main subject needs to be lit a bit more. We're gonna use the radial filter, just like this. Invert the filter here, and now it affects the area inside of the radius. See, you can adjust the hardness of the feather to make it harder or lighter as you want. And we're gonna use a luminosity mask to make this affect only the parts of the selected area. We're gonna have to talk about this in more detail later, but I'm just showing what Lightroom can do. Sometimes you can overdo it, so we're gonna take it down a little tiny bit. And I really hope you learned something new today. And if so, then leave a comment on what you learned, what you liked, what you didn't like, because I want to try and improve for you so I can provide better content for you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So enjoy your creative endeavors, and I'll see you in the next video.